Marriage is often painted as a sacred bond, but in cinema, it's also where secrets and temptations thrive. Stories of unfaithful wives are some of the most gripping because they mix love, lies, and devastating consequences. These films take us inside marriages that look perfect on the surface, only to reveal cracks that can't be hidden. Each movie on this list shows just how far desire can push someone, and the price that always follows. Stick with me until the end, because number 7 will shock you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more lists like this. 1. Faithless, produced in 2000. Directed by Liv Ullmann, from a story by Ingmar Bergman, this Swedish drama is raw and haunting. A wife's affair with her husband's best friend begins as passion, but unravels into destruction. The story is told through flashbacks as an older man reflects on love, lies, and betrayal. Infidelity here feels less like scandal and more like tragedy. Every scene carries the heavy weight of regret and lost trust. The affair is painted not as glamorous, but as corrosive to the soul. It's an intimate, devastating portrait of choices that cannot be undone. In the end, love becomes inseparable from pain. 2. I Am Love, produced in 2009. Tilda Swinton plays Emma, a wealthy Milanese wife trapped in routine who falls into a passionate affair. Her romance feels like liberation at first, breaking her free from the chains of duty. But with freedom comes risk, and her choices threaten to tear her family apart. The lush cinematography heightens every stolen moment of passion. Infidelity here is portrayed as both intoxicating and catastrophic. Love doesn't just clash with responsibility, it collides with tradition, power, and legacy. Emma's betrayal transforms her, but it also leaves devastation in its wake. This is infidelity written as opera, grand, emotional, and unforgettable. 3. Unfaithful, produced in 2002. This film dives deep into the intoxicating pull of temptation when a wife begins an affair with a younger man. What starts as excitement quickly spirals into guilt, obsession, and danger. The passion feels uncontrollable, but the price becomes unbearable as her husband discovers the truth. It explores how one reckless decision can ripple into violence and heartbreak. The intensity makes you question if love and betrayal can ever coexist. Each scene simmers with desire and dread, making the fallout inevitable. Infidelity here isn't just a secret, it's a ticking time bomb. The story forces us to face the fine line between passion and destruction. Ultimately, the film shows that betrayal rarely ends with just broken hearts. It can end with broken lives. 4. Deep Water, produced 2022. In this psychological thriller, a wife openly engages in affairs while her husband tolerates it, at least on the surface. Their marriage is a game of deceit, lust, and control. The wife's infidelity fuels her husband's quiet fury, pushing him toward darker impulses. The story feels like a slow descent into madness, where love and hate merge. Every smile hides a secret, every word hides a weapon. The wife's betrayal becomes both a power play and a dangerous risk. Infidelity here isn't hidden, it's flaunted, and that makes it even more dangerous. It's a deadly reminder that desire can be a trap. By the end, you're left wondering, who is really betraying who? 5. Side Effects, produced 2023. This thriller starts with a wife struggling with depression and medication, but soon reveals layers of betrayal. She seeks solace in an affair that becomes entangled in lies and manipulation. Infidelity here is less about passion and more about survival. Every decision she makes creates deeper consequences for her marriage and her life. The film twists between love, deception, and control. The cost of betrayal becomes intertwined with identity itself. What begins as a personal affair spirals into something criminal. It's proof that sometimes cheating comes with consequences far beyond the bedroom. The betrayal here feels like a chess game, where every move could mean destruction. 6. Adulterers, produced 2023. This small but intense indie drama focuses on a single explosive day. A husband discovers his wife's infidelity and confronts her in a raw, emotional showdown. The wife's betrayal isn't just about love, it's about identity and loyalty. The tension is claustrophobic, with every word feeling like a weapon. The emotional pain of betrayal becomes almost unbearable to watch. Infidelity here is stripped of glamour. It's ugly, violent, and real. The cost is immediate, bloody, and irreversible. It's a brutal portrayal of how fast love can turn to rage. By the end, you realize that sometimes the scariest thing about betrayal is how quickly it can change a person forever. 7. The Lovers, produced 2017. This dark comedy drama takes a playful yet poignant approach to infidelity. A married couple, both engaged in separate affairs, suddenly find themselves rekindling passion for each other. The irony is sharp. Their betrayal actually revives their love. The wife's infidelity is painted with humor, but also deep truth. Every secret meeting outside the marriage contrasts with the intimacy they rediscover at home. The film asks, can betrayal sometimes save what seemed broken? It's witty, heartfelt, and deeply human. Infidelity becomes not just destruction, but transformation. It proves that sometimes the messiest love stories are also the most honest ones. 8. Anatomy of a Fall, 2023. This Palme d'Or-winning drama begins with tragedy, a husband's death under mysterious circumstances. Rumors of his wife's infidelity become part of the courtroom battle. Here, betrayal isn't just personal, it becomes evidence. The wife's secrets complicate whether she is seen as a grieving widow or a manipulator. Infidelity in this film is political, emotional, and dangerous. It colors every perception of her character, even beyond the truth of the case. The affair becomes inseparable from guilt. It's a fascinating look at how betrayal can redefine justice itself. And the ambiguity leaves the audience asking, was the infidelity the motive or just the excuse? 9. The Descendants, 2011. George Clooney stars as a husband who learns of his wife's affair while she lies in a coma. Infidelity here is ghostly, present even when the wife cannot speak. The betrayal shatters his sense of love, family, and self. Every choice he makes is shadowed by her hidden life. The story blends grief with rage, love with betrayal. The wife's infidelity echoes long after her silence. The cost of betrayal isn't just his pain, it's the way it shapes his children's futures. It's heartbreak layered with tenderness, proving infidelity's damage never dies quietly. The cruel irony is that she cannot explain or defend her choices, leaving her husband to battle ghosts alone. 10. Scenes from a Marriage, produced 2021. This HBO miniseries reimagines the 1970s classic with modern sensibilities. The wife's affair detonates the marriage, forcing brutal conversations about love, sex, and loyalty. Infidelity here isn't just about passion, it's about unmet needs. The raw dialogue lays bare every wound and secret. The betrayal lingers in silence and in shouting matches alike. Love doesn't disappear, it mutates into something unrecognizable. The series shows that cheating can feel like both liberation and destruction. Watching it feels like staring directly into the wreckage of love. And by the end, you're left with a chilling truth. Sometimes, infidelity doesn't end love, it transforms it into something unlivable. Infidelity on screen is never just about betrayal. It's about the ripple effects that touch every part of a relationship. These movies prove that when trust is broken, the fallout is always dramatic, sometimes even deadly. Whether it's emotional betrayal or reckless passion, the cost is never small. That's why stories of unfaithful wives remain some of the most unforgettable in cinema. If you enjoyed this countdown, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive into the most dramatic stories film has to offer.